Here am I, send me. Those are the famous words of Isaiah when tasked by God with a mission to deliver a message. Hey Manna fam, this week we're going to take a look deeply at just one verse, Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8, and explore the meaning of it for our lives today. There's a beauty in hearing something in its original context, so I'm going to give it to you in its original Hebrew, as well as translate it into English for those of you in the audience who don't speak, first century pre-BC biblical Hebrew. But so let's go ahead and jump in. To set the context for you, the year is around 740 BC. Within this chapter, Isaiah is most likely in the temple in Jerusalem when he had this vision. So to paint the picture for you, he's standing before God. God has just given this incredible message that must be delivered, and that brings us to verse 8. And so here's what it would have sounded like. Va'eshma et kol Adonai omer, and I heard a voice of the Lord saying, Et mi eshla umi yelek lanu, whom shall I send? Who will go for us? Va'omar hineni shelacheni, and I said, Here am I, send me. Now this is a military town, the home of special operations, so the concept of saying yes to a calling is not a foreign one to us. But what does hearing and understanding and then answering that calling in our lives look like in a biblical context? Because I've got news for you. You were created on purpose for a purpose. You have a God-ordained calling. So this week we're going to look at what does it mean to listen and then understand and then answer and finally live out God's calling in your life. So that's what I want to do and leave you with today, is the premise that you have a specific calling in your life, and it's your job to seek it out, develop it, and just like Isaiah did, answer that calling. Also, something I'm going to be doing this week is recommending 6 books, one per day, that tie into each day's message that have really impacted me. And today's book that I want to share with you is The Moravian Miracle. It's about a group of Christians out of Germany in the 1600s, led by Nicholas Zinzendorf. And in 200 years, they would commission over 2,000 missionaries. To put that in perspective, more missionaries came out of that one city in the first century or so than all the rest of Protestantism across the globe combined. And it all started when they sought God's calling on their lives. They were just a small, impoverished village, but they experienced revival in August of 1727. Another critical element was they had 100 years of constant 24/7 prayer. And I wanted to start with this book because it's only 80 pages, it's very easy read, and it's also a very simple, clear, streamlined story of what happens when people listen and action God's calling in their lives. Hope you come back tomorrow. We're going to cover the next piece of the verse, but if you have any book recommendations on powerful testimonies of people who have answered their callings, I'd love to see them in the comments, and who knows, I might end up reading one of them. Tune in tomorrow. See you, Manna fam.